Do you want to do the intro? Or do you want me to give it a swing?
Let's see if I can. Did I do the intro last time?
I think you, because I was deliberating on doing it, so you just kind of did it. It's kind of funny.
I could do it again if you want, unless you're yearning.
I had another idea last night. I think I forgot what I was gonna say.
God damn.
I always have good ideas before I go to bed, and then never remember to write
You gotta write them down, man.
I know.
Gotta write them down. Anyways, welcome back to the podcast, everyone. This is the Objectively Bad Podcast. My name is Chad. This is your boy, Lankman Dan.
Could you not?
Or just Dan.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nah.
We need to separate
Call
the
him
two.
Call him whatever you want.
universes.
No. Point out that he's lanky. Point out that he's a tall ass man. Anyways, welcome back, everyone. We're gonna be talking about movies today. Dan, you look slightly offended.
It's unnecessary, to be honest with you. I'm not that.
I don't know why it felt natural.
I'm not like.
You're really not that lanky.
Nah, my name is Lankman Dan, but like it's like I am tall, but the skinny part. I'm not as skinny as I used to be. I used to be a bit lanky.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of more filled out.
You filled out. You filled out for sure.
Which is weird for my
Yeah.
height. Like I walk around like Melbourne where I live, and I see people my height, and usually they're like very, very skinny because it's like difficult
Sure.
to see. It's like when you're taller, it's more difficult to put on weight. But like I'm lucky in that sense because I'm not too bad.
Sure.
Like
I think you're a very, very good looking man, Dan.
Thank you, you too, Chad. I'd give you a kiss,
Yeah.
but you're a few thousand miles away.
It's this close.
Not really, but sure.
No, not really. Not at all. No, we're very far away from each other.
Yeah. And speaking about being far away from each other, if you didn't realize, I'm going to look at the camera now and break the fourth wall. If you didn't realize, we record this podcast at a time, one time for Chad and one time for me, because time difference is a thing. Basically,
Hell yeah,
I usually
baby.
have to wake up around like 7:30 a.m. to like get ready for the podcast, which I know doesn't sound early for those of you who have school or like a regular job, but I'm a little baby bitch boy that does YouTube, so I don't usually wake up that early. So when I have to do it
You're welcome.
for this podcast, I'm tired. Like last night I was up to I think 2 a.m. because I was watching a football game. And then I went to sleep after
Oh,
that.
you poor man.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, don't worry. Then we got up, I got up at 7:30, had a shower. I'm up now. I'm somewhat awake. I might look extremely tired and have bags under my eyes and look like I want to die. That's the reason. I
That's
don't
all
usually
right.
look like this. Maybe half the time, not all the time. It depends. And then Chad's fine because it's what, like 3?
It's middle of the day for me.
It's like 3 p.m.
It's 2, I believe.
Wow, crazy.
2:20.
Yep, good time. It's 8:20.
Middle of the day.
So if I slur my words more than usual, which is already a
It's because he's
ridiculous
drunk
amount,
as hell.
yeah,
Severe alcohol problem.
that's the reason.
Yeah. Starts his day with a bottle of Jack.
I don't think I'd ever do that. There's some drinks I would start my day with.
That.
I think for me it'd be like a Malibu Sunrise, which when I was in Germany with you, you saw me down a considerable amount of those. They go off though. They
Yeah,
go
but
hard.
it's nice and tasty, isn't
It
it?
doesn't even taste like alcohol. It's just like a nice pineapple juice.
That's the best part.
so good.
It's the best part.
I went out some ex-work colleagues a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh.
And we went to a place and I got Malibu Sunrise, and it had a straw. So I fancied, trying to think of the
Sure.
right word. I indulged.
You used it.
I used the straw.
Indulged.
Well, I was gonna say indulged
Yeah.
because one of our friends, the friend I'll talk about, he always says like it's impossible to look straight while drinking through a straw,
I mean,
which is kind of fair.
disagree.
Like,
Oh, okay.
well, I wouldn't
Just
say.
use a straw man. It's not gay.
No, I don't think there's a problem with it. I kind of see where he's coming from. I disagree. I like indulging in the straw. It's nice.
Sure.
I don't. This is a weird conversation.
Do you give him some eye contact and a little wink every once in a while when you sip it on that drink?
I should have. I didn't.
should.
Yeah.
You should do that next
Yeah.
time.
No, but I had that, and the first one I downed in I think about 11 seconds or so. I just went for it because I was really thirsty. So then the people around me were like, "What the fuck?" So I ordered another one within 10 seconds. Got it
Nice.
again. I was like, "Hey, watch this." Down the next one in like 8 or 9 seconds. And they're like, you have a problem. So I was like, it's fine. I'll order another one and drink it normally. So I got the next one. Decided I was gonna begin to drink it normally. And then the guy next to me got out his phone to time me. He's like, wait, you're not gonna drink this one fast? I was like, fuck. Now I have to do it.
Now you had to. Yeah, exactly.
So this time I cleared my gullet. I got into the right mindset.
Nice.
and I think I downed it in under 5 seconds, and I was feeling good.
Hey.
I'm also about to sneeze. Oh god.
Give a good sneeze for the mic.
No, it went away.
Sneeze for the camera.
It went away. Now my eyes just watering.
Just right up to the mic.
Yeah, so I'm an alcoholic. Nice. Chad, what have you been up to?
Yeah. Getting ready for the holidays.
The holiday season, which will be over by the time this is out.
This will be over by then, but we're recording like right before Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve for me today. It's a day before.
Oh, it is Christmas Eve for you.
Yeah.
If you were a German man, I would wish you happy Christmas.
Yeah, I never got that. Why is celebrating the 24th? It honestly, it actually angered me when we were met people on the 24th and they'd be like, Merry Christmas. I'd be like, no, shut the fuck up. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
It's one more day.
This day.
You know, the thing we're so serious about.
Yeah, the Christian part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. I know other countries around the world do it as well, but it's just such a strange change. I can understand not celebrating Christmas at all, but celebrating it the day before when the rest of the world celebrates it.
There's probably a legitimate reason to this.
I'm sure there is.
I'm not going to look it up.
But I also don't care.
You think living in Germany for 4 years would have us learn that?
Well, 6 for me, but yeah.
But it was 6 for you. You were there longer than I was.
I was, and yet I know German less than you.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, my German's fading, but that's unimportant.
Yeah.
So Dan, I got a question for you. What have you been watching recently? What's the most recent thing?
So I know you're probably asking about movies and TV, but I just want to quickly give a shout out to a little YouTube series I've been indulging in recently. So
I'm okay with that.
We're gonna go back to topic of last episode, RuneScape. Game I love very much.
Hell yeah.
So there's a YouTuber,
RuneScape.
Some of you may know him, some of you may not, called Settled. That's his name. And he had 2 major series on, obviously you don't know him, but he's done 2 major series on RuneScape. One called Swampletics, which is basically, the gist of it is it's a very restricted account that he actually put into a restricted area of the map and he could never leave. And he spent 6,000 hours completing a goal. And it's this massive series over 3 years. And it's incredible. One of the best series on YouTube I've ever watched, hands down.
Oh, dear God.
Binged it in 5 days. And then there's another series he did after that called Tile Man, which basically the way RuneScape works is, because it's a bit of an older game, it has a tile system for the world. So you spawn on a tile, you can move to the next tile, and the whole world is built of tiles. So what he did is he made a plugin, or someone made a plugin for him, where he would be restricted with the amount of tiles he can use. So he would start on one tile, and after he got 1000 XP, he'd be able to move to the next tile, and the next tile, and then the next tile. And for example, just to give you an idea of how slow it can be at times, when you start off in this one tile, the way you have to get XP is you have to wait for either a man or a rat to spawn to come near you. You can't walk over to it because you're stuck on one tile. You have to wait for them to come over to you, and you have to either kick the rat or you have to pickpocket the man. At this first level, you will get about 4 XP per time doing this, and you need 1,000 to move to the next tile. I'm pretty sure he spends 9 hours getting one tile in the first episode.
Oh, God.
But I finished that series recently, and it was 32 episodes. The other one was 33 episodes, and they were very, very good series. And at the end of this particular series called Tile Man, there was a montage at the end. Someone created I think they made it in Blender, but there was a beautiful montage at the end, kind of showing his journey across the world, these tiles popping up in different places. And they used the song Madeline by Good Kid, who's a band you're very fond of.
Oh, I like Good Kid. I love Good Kid.
Yeah, great band. I've been listening to the music a lot lately because of that.
Good.
But they used Madeline, or Madeline, whatever.
Depends on how you want to say it.
Yeah, it depends. For basically the exit, the outro animation. And it sounds weird to say this about a RuneScape series, but I genuinely teared up because of how beautiful it was. It was nothing I'd ever seen in terms of a video game series. The song as well, you've heard the song, I'm assuming. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's a beautiful song, and it works beautifully with the idea of the series. Finished that last night, and now I feel empty inside. So
nice.
There's me.
That's how we're starting.
Yeah. If you want an actual answer for TV show, the most recent thing I finished was The Last of Us season 1. I just got around to finishing it recently. Very, very good show, of course. I think probably a lot of people would agree that have played the games. I think the game tells the story a little bit better, but still very good. In the show, they go much more down a emotional sort of route, whereas in the game, it's a lot more action heavy, which makes sense considering it's a video game.
Sure.
But I do think the game tells things a little bit better. I think it develops the relationship between the main characters a little bit more. I think it shows the true devilish nature of the main character, Joel. Like, he is an evil bastard. And I think in the game, they show that a little bit more with all the murder you do. But still a very, very good show.
Game's also longer, so it kind of makes sense. You can really dive into it. And it's like, there's some things you can't do in a TV show that you can't do in a game.
Exactly.
Like, you're not going to show the thousands of people that Joel killed. It's just boring.
Yeah, so like in the show, they like retcon, well, not retcon, but like they change the fact that Joel kills a lot of people to him killing no one. And the in-universe explanation is that in the real world, because it's realistic, people don't hit their shots very often. So oftentimes going for a bunch of kills is not worth it. It's much easier just to sneak around or to negotiate your way out of some things. And I think changes like that are like how video game adaptations should be done to make it fit more in universe.
It's great.
And I'm glad it's a great show. Like, and we're going to get a season 2 in 2025, I think. So looking forward to that. That's me.
Exciting times.
What have you been watching recently, Chad?
You know what I watched last night? You ever watch The Muppets?
No, I haven't.
Like any Muppets content. Great content. Good content. Good stuff. Love The Muppets. I watched The Muppets Christmas Carol last night.
Oh, cute.
It was quite nice. Yeah, no. I grew up on The Muppets a bit. You know, my mom got like a box DVD set of all of the like original Muppet Show. Watched that, and so I watched the Muppets Christmas Carol for a first time last night. It's got Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge.
Nice.
Michael Caine is fantastic.
Great actor.
Gonzo. This isn't gonna make a lot of sense to you because you don't know the Muppets, but Gonzo was Charles Dickens, aka the narrator.
I recognize
it's
the
interesting
names, but I don't really know the characters.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting how they do it. Because it's like mostly Muppets, but also humans.
Yeah, I do notice that. Like there was a I don't think you watched the Game Awards this year, but the Muppets were at the Game Awards. I don't know why.
Hell yeah.
There was one Muppet.
They should be at every award show.
They were just at the Game Awards, and he was doing like an announcement with one of like the real life like commentators of the event, and it's like so weird to see them just next to people.
It's great. I love it.
It was kind of funny, but I was like, why is he here? It doesn't make any sense.
Nah, it makes every bit of sense.
Fair enough.
The Muppet shtick is being next to real people.
Yeah, sure it is.
But yeah, I watched that. Good movie. I quite enjoyed it. I haven't actually read Charles Dickens. I was reading about the movie, and it says that while it's like quite funny and like, you know, a relatively kiddish tale, it's like I think it's rated G or PG.
Yeah.
It's apparently really accurate to the actual like Christmas Carol, like the writing that Charles Dickens did, which is cool and also funny that it's like the Muppets.
Yeah.
Is a very accurate portrayal. I mean, it's like I don't know if they would make it the same nowadays because I think this was in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. Oh yeah, it's older, and it's like it's not that there's anything like bad in it, but they'll talk about death. They're like, yeah, this guy's dead. I don't know if they'd necessarily phrase it like that nowadays. I think you could do the same thing because like I think we were talking about Soul the other day, and like Soul is like, no, I was talking to someone else about Soul the other day.
I like the city. What do you mean?
No, like the Pixar movie.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
Soul. Okay, no, I was talking to someone else.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I know what it is. I haven't seen it either.
I mean, a guy dies in that. It's kind of the whole point of the movie,
right?
But no, it was good. I mean, the Muppets are just so much fun. You should watch the Muppets.
I don't know.
It's a good time.
I don't know. Is the Muppets something you can really get into if you didn't watch it as a child? Though I feel like
I don't know.
I wouldn't be able to.
I would say
very much.
I think it's still good though.
I'm sure it's still good. I feel like I'd have a more difficult time connecting to it maybe than if I were to have watched it as a kid. There's a lot of movies like that. That's a lot of like franchises like that. That's definitely one of them.
Sure.
Like a lot of my favorite movies now that I still love. If I introduce them to most people, they'd probably be like, "This is hot ass." Like what is this shit?
Give me an example.
What's the take? One of my favorite movies of all time, genuinely, and I don't know if you know this movie. It's called. I need to get the name right because it has a long title that I always forget. Oh, actually, that might actually just be the title. The title is Zoom, but it's called like Zoom something superheroes. Zoom Academy for Superheroes is the official title. It's a superhero movie with Tim Allen as the main character. It has Courtney Cox. It has Chevy Chase back when he was not cancelled and funny.
Oh man!
And then it has
just a whole lot of.
And then it has a bunch of like kid actors who have grown up now. Like Kate Mara was young in this movie. Okay. She was really good. Ryan Whitney's another actress that I don't know how famous she is now, but she's not bad. Zoom is one of my favorite movies of all time. I watched it again recently, like a year ago. And the plot of it is basically there was a superhero team where Tim Allen was the speedster, Zoom, basically Barry Allen. And he had a brother called Connor who had like these concussion fists. They're probably similar to Bakugo from My Hero Academia, if any of you have seen that.
I was going to say that's Shocker.
Yeah, Shocker as well. From very similar to Shocker.
Yeah.
And the plot of it is that due to them, the scientists behind the superhero team used radiation to boost their powers. And due to overuse of radiation, Tim's brother, I can't remember what his name is in the show, something. I'm just going to call him Tim. Tim's brother, Connor, gets turned evil, basically. And they managed to send him away to a different dimension or something. But then after 20, 30, 40 years, he's starting to come back. So they need to rebuild a new superhero team to deal with him. Because this old team's all old. They're all past their prime. And there's no one to deal with him. So the scientist team recruits Tim Allen's character, Zoom, as the teacher for this new superhero squad. And
it's coming back to me. I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of it.
Right, okay. So basically, in this world, superhero powers are not normal, but they do exist. Like, they're common enough that there's people around. So they hold this, like, basically entrance exam for students, and they pick 4 kids. 4 kids, right? Yeah, they pick 4 kids. One dude who can make his body, like, really fat and big in places, gets really blubbery. Another girl that can read minds and basically use telekinesis. A guy that can turn invisible, and a young girl that's super strong that's called Princess. It's very funny. And basically they train them. It's a comedy. They train them, have a good time, and then eventually they fight Connor and things happen. I won't spoil the movie. But yeah, great movie.
They all die.
Yeah.
The entire world dies.
Exactly. But fantastic movie. It's really, really funny. Even to this day, I still like. It was like when I watched it last year, it was the most I've laughed at a movie in a long, long time. I still find it hilarious, even if the quality of it is probably not the best. And I think this is gonna sound crazy. I think it has one of the best movie soundtracks of all time. Like,
wow, like, that's a real take right there. I haven't listened to the soundtrack.
I'll go through the soundtrack with you. I typed in Zoom soundtrack and I just got Zoom by Electric and Light Orchestra. That is not the right thing. Okay, so the Zoom soundtrack is genuinely one of the best of all time. So here we go. We have So Insane by Smash Mouth. Great song.
Okay.
Hang On by Smash Mouth. Great song. You see where this is going?
I have a feeling there's a trend. Here.
There is. Everyday Superhero by Smash Mouth. Great song.
Okay,
Come On by Smash Mouth. Great song. By the way, these 4 Smash Mouth songs, I just lisped songs. I think they're all better than All Star by like a lot. These 4 songs are great. Fantastic songs.
Okay.
Then we have Punk Rock 101 by Bowling for Soup. Great song.
Great song. That is a great song. I do love that song.
We have The World Is New, which I don't remember, but that's a thing. Then here's the kicker. And I think I showed you this in Germany. Maybe I showed someone else. But there is Under Pressure, not by David Bowie, but by Smash Mouth.
Let's go.
And I genuinely think the Under Pressure cover by Smash Mouth goes fucking hard. Listen to it if you haven't. It's on YouTube. It goes crazy.
I'll have to give it. Is it on Spotify?
No, it's not. Not even a little bit.
Okay.
Then we have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by someone. Superman, It's Not Easy by Five for Fighting. Great song. The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. One of the best songs of that in that genre of all time. And then we have a few other songs, but the last big one is Hero by Enrique Iglesias. What a...
I mean, I haven't listened to the Smash Mouth songs, but that doesn't sound
We also have It's On by Super Chick, another great punk rock song, and then a final Smash Mouth song, Days Like These. Whether you've heard these songs or not, I'd highly recommend you go listen to the Zoom soundtrack. It is incredible. It's like peak, like 2000 sort of punk rock pop music soundtrack. Coming of age movie, but it is so good. Like even just The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, what a tune, right? And all these songs kind of play into the narrative of the story really, really well. It feels like a comic book movie. Like the movie opens up with like a comic book panel and you zoom into the panel and then it shows clips and the movie also ends like that. So it's like a really beautiful collection of like this cool comic book story with like these kids that you can relate to. Like when you watch it as a kid, it's kids in the movie who are the main superheroes. So it's great. There's my rant about Zoom. Great. Go watch the movie. Zoom. Really, really good. Right. But the thing is, like we were saying about the Muppets, possibly it might be one of those movies that if you haven't watched it when you were younger, it might just be shit. But I don't care.
I don't know. I think the Muppets are great. I mean, it's hard to say because I watched them as a kid, but like, I don't know. They're really good.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I mean, they made a lot of good movies.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be. I'm just saying it. Possibly.
Sure. No, I mean, there's a lot of that
can say because you watch it as a kid. I haven't watched it, so we can't really have an opinion.
If I make you watch one of the Muppet movies or the Muppet Show, then we can figure.
All right.
It out.
Well, for a future episode, I'll watch one of the Muppets movies. You watch Zoom, and then we'll see if they're good.
And then we'll come back. Okay. Yeah. Speaking about Zoom and childhood superhero movies, Sky High. You've seen that movie?
Yeah,
right?
I saw it come up as well when I was searching Zoom as a related film. Another great movie.
You know what I just realized?
What
is the main girl in Sky High is in the Flash?
Yep.
Like I didn't even realize
the ginger chick.
Yeah.
Danielle Panabaker, right?
Sure.
I think it's Danielle Panabaker.
Let's see, Sky High cast. Yeah, Danielle Panabaker.
Which is really funny because in Sky High she plays like this chick that has like plant powers, and then in the Flash she's like Killer Frost, which is like the opposite of like plant life.
Yeah, I did not realize. Wow, she has not been in
many things
that I have heard of.
No.
Great though. I saw like a clip of them and I was like, hold up. Wait just a second. She looks familiar.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I was right.
We also have also in that movie the blonde actor, like the bleach blonde tall guy. I can't remember his name, but he is like one of my favorite like comedy actors in movies. He's not in a lot of stuff, but I find him hilarious. The guy that like glows in the dark in the movie. Come on, Chad. Sky High.
I have to see it. No, I know. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
I've watched it so many. I think I might have watched it 10 plus times, honestly. It's great. I think Sky High.
I mean, I've watched it a good amount, but I can't.
Fair enough.
The guy who glows?
Yeah. He's like the main character's best friend. Pretty prominent character in the show. Movie. Sorry.
Okay, clearly I've not watched it.
He wears like a visor cap.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know who he is.
He's a great comedy actor. He's also like really tall as well, so I relate to him. Because he looks really awkward wherever he is.
Okay.
But yeah, Sky High is one of those weird cases where like objectively it's like quite a low quality movie, but I think it's better than most modern superhero movies by like quite a bit. It has so much charm to it that you don't really see in like a modern superhero film. I think because they're teenagers and it's school, you can relate to it a bit more. The story is more just like goofy fun rather than serious. I think it has such a unique charm. Like the main villain turns the parents into babies. Like who else is going to do that? It's so dumb.
It's like it's pre-Marvel where it's very like formulaic and also like a lot of the Marvel movies had so much money and time and backing and like all this stuff. And this was just like a step above a Disney original.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fantastic. I love it. But like a step above like a Disney original movie.
Yeah. It's in a very similar boat to Zoom that we were talking about. And I think those like it's almost like the Hallmark Christmas movie of superhero films.
Or like the two movies about like friends with benefits that came out the same year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I watched them both last year, like a week apart for the first time.
Which one's better? I haven't seen either, but which one's better?
I think the one with it's friends with
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Yeah, I think I like that one better. I remember watching them and like having
I named both of them. I just named both of them.
Oh, you named a different.
One of them has one of them has Ash. I remember this because one of them has Ashton Kutcher, and the other one has Mila Kunis because they're married.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. The other one also is Justin Timberlake, who is very famous.
The one with Mila Kunis is Justin Timberlake.
So
the one with
it's
Ashton
Friends
Kutcher.
with Benefits and No Strings Attached. That's the other one.
Yeah.
So from what I remember, No Strings Attached has a much more like emotional, serious tone to it, which is why I think I liked it a little bit better.
Okay.
So, but they're both very good movies. I think Friends with Benefits is higher rated by a bit, actually. But as you'll see in this podcast episode in the future, I have very bad opinions on movies. So
this guy,
yeah,
he's got all the opinions.
Yeah, I think No Strings Attached is a little bit better. Has Natalie Portman as well, who's pretty good in it.
Big Portman fan, huh?
Yeah, good in Thor.
Okay.
I don't know about the fourth one, but the first one's pretty good.
Yeah. None of the other ones.
No, not really.
I mean, Thor 2.
I haven't seen.
It's arguably a movie.
I don't think I finished Thor 2. I got half an hour in. I just kept stopping.
You don't really have to.
No, I don't.
It's
don't plan to. Pretty
fine. Bad. It's all right.
Yeah.
Have
you seen Love and Thunder?
No.
Okay. I want to ask someone who's seen Love and Thunder and Dark World to see which one's better because they're both bad in different ways.
I'd love to. You get. Maybe at some point we watch them back to back.
We could, because one's like really dark and serious to the point where it's boring, and the other one's like too goofy.
Yeah, and too unserious.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Speaking about Marvel films, what is your favorite Marvel film? I just want to get a quick little insight into your head.
All right, let's see. Big fan of that last Spider-Man movie.
Yep, of course.
But I think that's a big that. It really pushes on nostalgia.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think I haven't watched it back yet, but I reckon if I did, it doesn't hold up as well as it did on first viewing.
I think I've watched it twice and it was good the second time. I mean, the villains are just really good. Like, they took all the good villains and pretty much kept them the same. I mean, they updated them a little bit. Yep. They took like the not good villains and then made them good.
Yeah.
Like Jamie Foxx's Electro.
Oh, he was great.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, not 2.
Is like
he's great in the
movie. In No Way Home, he's great. He's like honestly what he should have been.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Look, they had the whole tooth gap bit. There's a big tooth gap and an electricity. Pop, put them together.
Yeah, makes sense.
If that's not a superpower, I don't know what is.
I wish. That's
the power of cosmetics.
Yeah, I wish I had that before I had braces because that year of life was not fun. So yeah, back on track. Favorite MCU film?
God, I gotta think about that.
Because I think
Guardians are good.
Guardians 3 was incredible. I didn't expect it to be that good, to be honest.
It was pretty good.
Had me tearing up quite a lot.
Oh yeah, it's funny because it's like relatively, mostly like unfunny, or mostly funny, mostly unserious.
Yeah.
And then it hits the Rocket Raccoon like part of the storyline. You're like, I am so sad, and it cuts back to like Star-Lord.
Every time there was a shot of Baby Rocket, I was like, I'm gonna cry here, guys. Please stop.
So sad.
Are you moaning at the raccoon?
So sad.
What's going on though?
God, I hope not.
No, I hope not. You don't have control over your own intentions.
Look, man. Sometimes things happen. No, I'm not moaning at the thought of a CGI baby raccoon.
Okay, good. Just the thought of
that'd be bad.
Who's the actor that plays him? Fuck.
Bradley Cooper.
That's the one.
It's all right. It's in The Hangover.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Thanks.
He's in movies.
I just named someone who's like, oh yeah, he's in this. I didn't ask, but cool information. Yeah. Good to know.
Look, some people don't know.
Yeah, true.
Don't know why they wouldn't, but I feel like I need to play. I feel like original Avengers. I don't know why it's so rewatchable.
I think for me it probably is Thor Ragnarok. I just love that movie. It is like very silly.
It's pretty good.
But I love the silliness of it. I like when Chris Hemsworth leans into more of like his Aussie kind of like funniness rather than being less like serious.
Taika Waititi's. I also love Taika Waititi as a director. He's great.
Yeah. So I think that was my favorite for a long time. It's between that. Infinity War is like a very basic answer, obviously. And I think as well, I probably would be one of the Guardians movies, honestly. I don't know which one. They're all very, very good.
Oh man, I'm trying to look at this. All the Guardians are good. Yeah, I'm looking at a list here right now. Spider-Man No Way Home was pretty good. Honestly, original Avengers, I've rewatched that a lot, and it's
Fair
like
enough.
it holds up. It does have that a little bit of like, oh god, that's classic. Like they say a line and you're like, oh. It's one of those where like it's great, you can't make it again. And you can kind of see that when you go from Avengers into Age of Ultron. It doesn't really progress. Like Age of Ultron wasn't bad by any means, but it feels like kind of the same thing. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. It wasn't a step
we
up.
Get it.
It was kind of just like a step to the side. And then they kind of reprimanded that with Infinity War and Endgame being like massive movies.
I mean, you can also see it when it comes to like, those two, original Avengers and Age of Ultron was Joss Whedon as a director.
Right.
I want to say, I think Joss Whedon did Age of Ultron. He also did the Justice League movie. Kind of.
Right. I haven't watched that. I don't plan on doing it.
You don't need to.
No.
So that's a weird saga because it's like, DC had Zack Snyder.
Yep.
And he did a couple movies, and then he did Justice League. I don't want to butcher this. I want to say he stepped away for like family reasons. Like he just wasn't going to be directing at the time. Should probably fact check myself on that.
No, never fact check yourself. Just say stuff and assume it's correct. That's the best way to podcast. Then people can correct you.
That is
the comments.
Yeah, it's for oh god, it's a darker reason than I thought. It's for family reasons. And Joss Whedon did reshoots, and he had that similar, like that Justice League movie had that similar like kind of campy, kind of jokestery all the time. Like it has a bit where it's like the Flash falls on Wonder Woman, and it's like oh man on girl. It's like fucking really. This is not funny. This was funny to a 5-year-old maybe. There's a whole lot of that.
Fair enough.
Wasn't great. Eventually, there was the Zack Snyder reshoot, or the Snyder cut.
Hell yeah, baby,
as it is famously called. I have many an opinion. I think it is better. I think I don't hate it as much as I used to. I had a very intense opinion, or not intense opinion. I had an opinion about it back when it came out. And you haven't watched either of these?
Nope.
Do you have any opinions on them whatsoever?
Isn't the Schneider cut all in black and white?
There's two versions. One of them is in black and white.
All right, that is an aesthetic choice that is fucking not necessary. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Did you see like Man of Steel or Batman v Superman or any of those kind of like DC
I saw
movies?
Man of Steel.
Okay. What'd you think of Man of Steel?
It's pretty decent. Henry Cavill's a hot man, so anything
it's
he's
Henry
in,
Cavill.
I don't mind.
I enjoy Henry Cavill as Superman. I don't think Man of Steel is bad. It was a little too gray for me.
Fair enough. I think Man of Steel is the
dark.
only Superman film I've ever seen. So I don't really have anything to compare it to.
There are better Superman films.
I'm sure there are, but I have not watched them. Just like with Batman, I've seen Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises, but not The Dark Knight.
Oh, God.
So there's that.
I need to strap you to a chair.
And make me watch it.
And make you watch The Dark Knight. Yeah. Because God damn, that movie.
So the reason why I haven't watched The Dark Knight is because obviously when it came out in cinemas, I was like, what, 10, 11, 12 or something? Obviously still a fine age to watch it, but like, I wasn't at the age where I was like seeking out to go to the cinema by myself. I'd usually just go with parents or friends invited me. So I think I watched Batman Begins on like DVD because my dad had it. And then by the time The Dark Knight Rises came out, it was more something I was interested in, but I didn't really understand that there was prequels or whatever. So I kind of watched that. And then many years later, I still have not watched The Dark Knight, which is seen as the best one. Now, I not recently, 7 months ago, I headed over to Germany to meet up with Chad and some other high school mates. And on the plane flight over to Germany, I had the option to watch a few movies. I watched Bullet Train first, which was a great movie. Bullet Train.
Good movie. I've enjoyed that movie. It's a very fun action movie.
Very good. I then watched the new Puss in Boots movie. Incredible movie.
Good movie.
Fantastic film.
Good movie.
And then I had time for one more movie. And I was deciding what to watch, you know? What should I spend my precious time on the plane doing? So there were a few options I had. I had The Dark Knight as one option.
Good movie.
I had what was the other option I had? I had another thing I was thinking about watching. Can't remember what it was. I feel like it was a Ryan Gosling movie for some reason. I'm gonna just say it was Blade Runner or something. I've watched it now.
Sure.
On the plane. I don't know what it was. Let's assume
let's go with that. Another like critically acclaimed.
Yeah, another like good movie. Like you
known as a good movie.
Exactly. Not sure what it was, but it's something good. And then there was Jurassic World 3. Dominion, is it called? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's Dominion.
So being the fantastic movie lover, film nerd I am, I decided to spend my precious time on the flight watching Jurassic World 3. And I had a great goddamn time.
Bad. This Letterboxd hates this man.
It does. It really does. I gave Mr. Nobody with Jared Leto a 10.
I haven't seen it, but I know it's Jared Leto.
He's good in the movie. He's actually good in this movie. It's a great movie.
Sure.
It's a complete mindfuck of a film, and it confuses you, and it's like over 3 hours, and he plays like 20 different versions of himself, but it's a great movie.
Oh god, that sounds so fucking convoluted.
Hey, if you don't like Jared Leto, he dies a lot in the movie. I'll say that. He dies dies a lot of different times. Because
maybe I can.
It's about like the butterfly effect and how different life branches give you different outcomes. But it's told from the memory of him being the last mortal person on Earth. But it's really confusing because as a person, he can't remember what life path he lived. So it's really mindfucky, but I love the movie. I think it's a cool thought experiment. So I gave it a 10. Okay. Whether that's a correct opinion or not, I highly doubt it.
I mean, that's the fun thing about opinions is usually there's not a correct answer.
Yeah.
However, you prove me wrong often.
Yeah, my opinions are objectively bad, hence the name of the podcast.
Hell yeah. That's where it all started.
Do you want another bad opinion? Or do you want to go into something because maybe I should stop myself because I'm going to get cancelled very quickly by every film nerd.
I mean, you're not going to get cancelled for having a bad opinion about movies. We'll get comments.
Yeah.
But that's why we do it.
True.
That's what it's all for.
Yeah, Toy Story's overrated and for kids.
I mean, it's for kids, obviously.
Yeah, it's overrated though.
But it's so good.
Toy Story 3's the ending was like kind of sad. I didn't even get close to crying. Was it? It's kind of sad.
You have no soul.
Like when the people were nearly burning in trash, I was like, oh no, but I didn't really care, to be honest. It's like they're just toys.
One day we're gonna give you a test, and it's just a psychopath
to see if I have emotions.
And you're gonna pass with flying.
I did think for a while I might have been a sociopath or had tendencies because I didn't really get emotional at things. I've started to get more emotional at things now. I don't know what happened in my teenage years. I was numb or something. But yeah, Toy Story kind of mid, honestly.
Nah.
I do think I will preface this by saying I didn't really watch it as a kid, so I think that's why I don't relate to it as much.
What did you watch as a kid? I mean, obviously a lot.
The Land Before Time.
Okay.
Fantastic movie series. That at the start of the first movie when his mother's dying, that got me sad when I was a kid. That got me hella emotional.
I don't remember Land Before Time whatsoever.
The very start of the dinosaur movie.
I know what it is. I don't remember if I've even seen it
because we had it on VHS tapes when I was a kid, and I used to watch those movies all the time. This first movie's really sad. Basically, little kid long neck. His mother basically dies. I can't remember what the reason is. Maybe just an injury or something. It's just really sad. But then he meets all these friends, and it's a cool movie. Actually, really sad fact about that movie. Quote me if I'm a bit incorrect on this, but from what I remember. In the first movie, there's a character called Ducky, which is like a little kind of like duckling-like dinosaur. And the voice actress for Ducky was like a young kid, like 5-6-year-old kid or something. And after the first movie, she actually passed away, so they had to replace her with someone else, which is really sad.
That is sad.
Yeah, but Land Before Time is a movie I watched when I was a kid. A lot of the typical kid films I did watch, like Cars I watched, Lion King I watched, Nemo was aight.
Yeah. What if you had to pick one that you think you watched the most?
The most as a kid. Oh, a good question.
I got a couple.
It's a good question. I think the Land
throw me a couple.
The Land Before Time would definitely be up there when I was like really young. That'd be high on the list. I think I moved away from animation films to real life films like pretty quickly. So like Sky High was something I watched a lot when I was young.
Yeah.
Zoom as well. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that like really stands out. A lot of these big films I would have watched like once and then stopped.
Sure.
I think I would have watched Nemo a lot because in German class they always used it to like teach us German for some reason. So I watched that a lot of times.
We watched, I think it was both of us. We watched Aladdin in German.
Dude,
and
a whole new world.
That's a weird one.
The song in German was so funny.
It's my issue with the movie is they go, oh, like they talk about like language learning. It's like, oh, like if you watch stuff that like, you kind of can get it faster because you know the context and maybe like you kind of know what they say here anyways. So you can essentially do the translation in your head. Yeah. My issue is that movie is made by Disney, but it's really made by Robin Williams playing as the genie.
Yeah.
Because he's so good. And then you throw a random German guy. He's probably a good voice actor.
Yeah.
But it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not really. If you guys know what German sounds like, it's not the nicest language to listen to. It's very harsh. So it kind of takes away some of the charm of the film, in my opinion. But I just looked up a list of animated kids films to re-jog my memory. And there's a list here of a few films that I love and watch a lot. So one of them, Over the Hedge.
Great movie. Movie. That's on my list of movies that I have watched. For me, a lot of the like movies I watched a ton of was like we owned the DVD and subsequently watched it. Over the Hedge was one of them.
Over the Hedge is a great movie. Robots, another banger.
I've watched that I think once or twice.
Yeah, I think I've only watched it a few times as well, but love Robots.
But good movie.
I typed up animated kids films. I expect it to be like old ones. The Super Mario movie is very high on the list. Which does make sense.
Yeah, we watched that as a kid, right?
Yeah, of course. I haven't seen it yet, to be honest.
I haven't seen it either. I heard it was good.
Okay, there's actually not many I'm gonna type in from the 2000s because it's showing a lot of
it's probably
modern movies, which isn't really helping. Okay, I typed it. Okay, animated kids films from the 2000s. Sky High is third on the list. Bridge to Terabithia is second.
Go.
They are not animated movies.
Go.
What the fuck?
Those aren't animated at all.
Okay, another one of my favorites as a kid. Maybe like it scared me, but it's great. Monster House, if you've seen it.
Oh, dude, I went over to a friend's house. We put it on. I think I was done within about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Come on.
You need to watch it. I was young.
You need to watch it again.
It was fucking creepy.
It is.
Because it's a horror movie for kids.
It is, yeah.
But it was at that time of animation where they're like, we're gonna make this like real life looking animation, like Polar Express. Mm-hmm. And it looks terrifying.
It is.
Because it's right at the bottom of that uncanny valley.
I have two very big kind of core memories with Monster House. One of them is I remember watching it one night. I must have been like 7 or 8. Put it on with me and my two best friends when I was younger. Watched it and we were so scared by the end. We needed to watch a movie to like calm us down before we went to bed. So we watched bedtime stories with Adam Sandler, which is the perfect movie to make us not scared. And then the other big memory is there was a Monster House game, I think on the PS2. Really? I never completed it because it was really difficult, but I think it's to this day, I think it's the only like pure horror game I've ever played. I played The Last of Us, which is technically horror, but the Monster House game on the PS2, I think is the only horror game I've ever played, and it was horrifying. It looks. It's definitely a PS2 game. I'm looking at the graphics right now.
Yeah,
but
looks rough.
It's like a third-person shooter with the characters, and they use different water guns. But there's a fight so in the Monster House, the whole plot is that this old man is protecting his house that basically he buried his dead wife in. So his dead wife kind of becomes part of the house. And there's a boss fight in the attic where you have to fight her, and it's horrifying. That's a great movie. The B movie showed up. Definitely not putting that one on there. That's not one of the best movies.
Nope.
The Incredibles, obviously.
Good movie.
Great movie.
Good. Well, I think maybe one of the best Pixar movies.
I agree. And also the PS2 game on that was fantastic. I see GeForce on here, which is funny because one of our best friends in high school, their high school quote was from GeForce.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Oh, have you seen The Ant Bully?
I know of it. I don't think
so. I think The Ant Bully is like the other one of that ant. There was like 2 big ant movies that came out at once.
No.
Or was it other ones?
Not even 2 big ant movies.
3?
There were 3 big ant movies.
Ant movies.
So that goes to another one of the movies I watched a lot. which was A Bug's Life.
Right.
So there was A Bug's Life, which is the main one and the good one.
I haven't seen it.
Great movie. Very great. That was one that I definitely watched a lot. That and Over the Hedge. Yeah. Ants with a Z at the end.
Yeah.
Was the other one. That is DreamWorks, I believe, first movie.
Really?
Huh. Yeah, I want to say it was.
Surprising. The Ant Bully's the best one. I haven't seen the others, but it's officially the best one.
Nope.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's Ants is
DreamWorks
first movie.
It was also, I believe there's an Ant Bully PS2 game as well.
Probably.
Was there? Yeah, there was an Ant Bully game.
I mean, around that time, like a lot of movies like came out and then they're like,
let's make a game.
Gonna make a game on this.
Yeah, the Ant Bully game went off though. I can't lie. Shit went hard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If we want to stop talking about animated films in particular, some other films that I really enjoyed as a kid was Garfield the movie 1 and 2 with
So you immediately go into what is kind of an animated film.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not.
It's like half animated.
Garfield's
animated. So yeah, Bill
Murray.
Bill Murray is Garfield. The second one where they go to England is hilarious. Love that film. Haven't seen it in years, but it's great.
Sure.
I'm trying to.
Do you think it holds up?
Probably not, to be honest. Okay, this is what I'm trying to find. So, this is a film that I absolutely loved as a child. I probably watched it like close to 10 times, which is maybe not that much, but close to 10 times. And it's a film that I always forget about. I don't know why. Something about it makes it so forgettable, but whenever I see it on like social media or it comes up on It's Just in Conversation, I always have such fond memories of it. And I remembered it recently because I think it was used as a TikTok sound, one of the songs in the movie. And I was like, oh my God, Meet the Robinsons.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love
movie.
that film. It's so
weird
good.
Movie. Good movie.
Once again, a PS2 game with it that I played a lot. I don't know why every film I loved had a game with it.
How?
But the Meet the Robinsons game was also high key fire. So,
all right.
If you have a PS2 still, I'd highly recommend.
Go get that Meet the Robinsons game.
Hell yeah. That's a fantastic movie. I want to rewatch it like soon. I'll probably watch it in a couple of days because I haven't seen it in like 10 years, but it's such a great film.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done with my ranting.
Good movie.
You got any big movies?
I mean the first two that were Over the Hedge and Bug's Life, because we watched that a lot. I remember having a VHS tape of Hercules.
Oh, okay.
It's a good one. I had VHS of the original trilogy of Star Wars, which are all movies that you have not seen.
Yep.
Horrible.
I also think
which Star Wars movies have you seen, Dan?
I don't think I've seen any.
Or is it none of them?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I think I might.
I
might have seen part of the one with the pod racing.
That's the only one you need to see. Phantom Menace.
I think I may have seen part of that. So I know most of the Star Wars story kind of because I played the Lego games.
It's all you really need.
But I haven't
Star Wars Lego.
I haven't seen the movies.
Saga.
Yeah, I played the Lego games, which are pretty fun. Haven't watched the movies. Think they're kind of for children. Star Trek is better. So.
I mean, honestly, they might be for children. They tend to run PG.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're not good, though.
They don't.
Incredibles. The Incredibles is for children, and that's a great movie.
I think Star Wars just doesn't interest me. So, like, recently, maybe not recently, like a year ago, I started seeing more like Star Wars lore, like videos pop up on TikTok. And like there are so many interesting like non-canon or like somewhat canon things that happen in like different parts of the Star Wars universe. I'm like, that sounds like so much more interesting for a story than like what we actually have. I'd so much rather watch like this evil overlord in the early times of the universe, like doing heinous shit. That sounds like I'm just a masochist or something, but like it makes sense. I think Star Wars as a movie franchise, and this is me saying this not having seen any of the fucking movies, would be a lot more interesting if they went down a much darker and mature route.
I mean, they do sometimes. Just a lot of the mainstream ones. Well, because look, here's the deal. They gotta make money, Dan.
Yeah, I know, but money is schmoney. Like, just make it cool.
They do make it cool, but like not the big ones. So like Rogue One was kind of that. Because do you know of Rogue One or kind of the general?
There's a rogue in it.
Okay, you know nothing. So the first movie, A New Hope,
Yep.
which is also the fourth movie, depending on how you see it, starts with the Rebel Alliance has gotten the plans of like the Death Star so they can see how they can destroy it.
Yeah, big ball.
Yeah. Rogue One is the story of the people that got those plans.
Right.
And what's fun about it is they go and get the plans. It's high stakes. It's maybe PG-13. I honestly don't know.
Which means it's for children.
I mean, no.
Dude, I just want to play the Meet the Robinsons video game again. I miss that shit. I'm just looking through good images.
Just playing it all day.
Dude, it was so good. It was so fun. I miss.
Yeah, it's PG-13.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna talk about how you miss Meet the Robinsons?
No, I low-key miss like the old era where like bigger movies had video games attached to them, and they weren't good, but they're just kind of fun. Like nowadays, like if you get like a video game with a movie, it's like a big AAA open world, like the Avatar game that came out recently that wasn't very good.
The Avatar one, yeah.
Like I miss these like fun little like games you could finish in a day on like the PS2.
Yeah.
Why can't they make them anymore? Why can't we get like a I don't even know what movies come out nowadays. Fuck.
A Barbie.
Yeah.
A Barbie,
give me a Barbie game where I play as Barbie and I have like a gun. I just kill all the men to destroy
It's nothing like it's just an FPS. It's nothing like.
Yeah. No, most of these games are. They just turn them into like third-person shooters, like all of them, and it's great. Yeah. Just give me Barbie with a pink gun and I kill men to destroy the patriarchy, and the whole goal is to take over the White House or something. That'd be great. And make it like really low poly graphics as well.
That would kind of be great.
I think it'd be hilarious.
But anyways,
yeah, back to you.
Rogue One, PG-13. It's a little on the darker side. It's not that dark. The spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's not that new movie. They all die at the end, and I don't mean it as a joke. They all die at the end.
Cool.
They go and get the plans. And I think it's either the Death Star or someone else just blows up the planet.
Epic.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, I've also...
Because they're like, oh shit, they're going to get the plans, blow them up.
Nice. I was also just going to say that I've only seen one Indiana Jones film, and it's the one with Shia LaBeouf. God
damn it. God,
I don't see. Like the thing is,
damn.
I don't know how I got to this point where I somehow managed to watch the worst movies from every franchise. I don't know what happened. Like, so,
have you seen any of the Terminator movies?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go through like franchises.
Yeah, I've seen like the first four.
Okay, so what are your opinions on the first four?
I don't.
If you remember,
I don't really remember the fourth one that much.
Don't need to.
The first one's good, just good action movie. Second one's the best.
Yeah. Okay.
And third one, while it is worse, I do actually like the introduction of the secondary, like the secondary like morphing character, the female. I think the additions to her like power set are really cool. I don't remember the plot that much in the third one, but I remember it being like quite interesting. I was also a young boy, seeing a hot female morph was kind of like, ooh. Let's go.
It was an awakening.
It was kind of like, you know, the scene in Transformers 2 where the Transformer gets on, like pushes Shia on the bed and she's about to like penetrate him with her tail. That was.
I genuinely do not remember that.
This scene? What?
I've seen this movie.
Yeah, Transformers 2.
I don't remember.
Where Shia LaBeouf's character is in college. There was a.
I know that.
There's a scene where this hot girl in college tries to seduce him. So she gets on top of him on the bed, and at this age, I was like, "This is the best." I didn't know what porn was yet. I was like, "This is fire, though. Like this is peak shit." And then just as they're about to get hot and heavy, this fucking metal like spine comes out of her ass. It's about to attack him. I was like, "What the fuck is happening here?"
I clearly don't remember.
It's a great scene.
Revenge of the Fallen that well. I think that's the name of it.
That's what show her panties a bit. So as a young boy, first movie you got Megan Fox leaning over. Second film you got this. I was like, oh, this is a peak franchise.
My favorite part of that first movie is just like the very end First of all, it goes into a Linkin Park song. Fantastic. What I've Done. Great song. But they go into the end where they're just like making out, I think, on top of the car. And all of the rest of the Transformers are just watching them.
Holy fuck, your mic just turned into a robot.
Did it?
You're back now. God, that is the difficulties of doing this over Discord, I guess.
Yeah.
I heard what you said.
Discord likes to ruin my mic. I don't know what it is. You heard what I said?
It only happens to you.
Yeah, it's Transformers. Weird. You know, it's all the Transformers just watching them make out.
Yeah, they're very horny movies, but I appreciate it.
I mean, it was that time. It was that time period.
Why can't it be that
all the
time
action
again?
movies were also kind of.
I miss those times.
Just want all Michael Bay movies.
Yeah, honestly, give me more Michael Bay.
Horny man.
Yeah,
Michael Bay needs to do different genres just to see. I think I have that. A little note about that. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Or now if it's the time.
Well, I was gonna ask just before we get into that. Do you have any guilty pleasure films?
Guilty pleasure films.
A film that maybe
actually
that was bad, but you love.
Sure. I was gonna say this one. So this one goes into like some of the films I actually used to watch as a kid, a decent amount. This is not an animated one. Talladega Nights. Will Ferrell, you ever seen that?
Nope. I think I recognize
it's
the title,
great.
But I haven't seen it now.
It's great. It's Will Ferrell as like a NASCAR driver.
Okay.
And it's just fucking hilarious. We in our Honda Odyssey that we used to have, we had like the tiniest little TV in there.
Oh, yeah.
That like was like on the roof and it folded like down.
Lovely.
And you could like listen to it. It was great. I watched that on many a car ride. I'd say it's a guilty pleasure, but it's honestly just a good movie.
Yeah. I think I've mentioned a lot of my guilty pleasures, like Zoom. It's not really guilty though, because I do just love the movies. I think guilty pleasures for me would maybe just be like shitty rom-coms. Like I'm a sucker for a garbage rom-com. I watch so many. I'm getting to the point where I've run out and I get sad because there's like I've seen most of them.
Yeah.
It's like it's really bad. So like one I watched recently, which this one I don't know if it was a pleasure. It would kind of just piss me off the whole time. There was a Netflix movie recently. I'll try and find the name of it because it has a specific name. But the plot of it, Netflix romance film, the plot of it was that it was interactive. So basically it was I'm trying to type and speak at the same time is really difficult for some reason. Let me type that first. It's called Choose Love, which is a pretty on the nose title. Got 35% Metacritic, 35% Rotten Tomatoes, 5 out of 10 IMDb. So not great.
Not great.
Main actress Laura Morano from Austin and Ally, one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
Great actress. Love her. But the plot of the movie is she is in a relationship with this man, her husband. Well, they're not husband and wife yet, but they're
fiance.
No,
is that the
no, but they're close.
They're just dating.
Yeah, but they've been together for a long time.
Okay.
It's like close to proposal type shit.
Sure.
But the plot of the movie is that there are two other guys, two past loves, unrequited loves that never happened, or I think one might have happened, but the other didn't, come back into her life throughout the movie. And basically what happens is that throughout the movie, when you're in a situation with one of these guys, or one of them's the unrequited love, one of them's an international music star that she happens to work with because she's like an audio engineer. Basically, you get options on the screen whether to kind of go forward with them. Like one of the options is like, do you want to stay late at the studio to work on this song with this guy? One of them is like, do you want to go to this like charity event to see this other guy? And you basically make choices like, do you want to go with them or do you want to stay with your current partner? And the whole movie, I was just angry because I was like, don't fucking cheat. What the fuck? I was literally yelling at the TV.
But don't you get to choose that?
Yeah, so the whole time I just chose stick with your husband, stick with the first guy.
Yeah.
I didn't look at any of the other options. I didn't go with any of the other guys. Sometimes I did things just to be nice, but like if it progressed any further than I liked, I was like, no. I was generally just angry the whole time. I was like sitting like on the top of my couch. My feet were on the seat and my ass was on like the back of the couch. I was like screaming at the TV, don't fucking cheat. If anyone chooses any of the other options, they're fucking garbage humans. I know you maybe choose the other options just to see where the plot goes.
Sure.
But like the first time watching it through, I'm like, no, don't cheat. What the fuck? So I ended the movie with the original guy just proposing to her and she was faithful. I was like, yes, good woman.
Nice.
It's the whole plot of the movie is trying to get this woman to cheat and making you an accomplice. It's like, what the fuck's going on? It was awful.
That's great. I want a movie that does that, but they're like really trying to get you to make the wrong decision, and they throw out little things that look like it's the right decision, and it's like objectively like, yeah, it makes sense, you stay, and then it's like then he leaves, and then she gets the opportunity to cheat again, and you're like trying to avoid it. I watched, there was a kind of similar but kind of not. Do you know the Under the Red Hood Batman animated movie?
I haven't seen it, but I think I've heard of it.
So there was kind of there was another version that was made that had more content to it, where essentially the beginning of the movie is Jason Todd, the second Robin, getting killed.
Right, okay.
You choose the events around there, and I think one or two more maybe. And depending on where you choose, it sends you to a different part of the movie where you get a different ending.
Cool.
So, like, if you choose him just dying like he normally does, you watch the whole movie and it's just the normal movie. But if you choose, like, him not dying or him, like, there's a couple options. I don't remember which ones. It does, you get different, like, options out of it. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's, on that same route, there are two other interactive movies I remember watching in my time. One of them is not really that interactive, but it's Fast 2. Fast Too Furious.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what the title was.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's the one. And I had a Blu-ray version of it where it was interactive, and you could actually choose the car that Paul Walker drove.
Interesting.
So depending on which car you drove, the whole entire movie is shot with a different vehicle, which is kind of a cool concept. It's like such a small.
It's a cool concept.
It doesn't change anything about
the film. Seems like a pain in the ass to record.
It doesn't change any like narrative things, but it's just kind of like a cool thing. If you like one car better, he drives the car. And then the other one was, I don't know if it was the original, but it was one of the Ben 10 movies. Okay. And in one of the Ben 10 movies, I can't remember what the interactivity was, but it was something about choosing the aliens he uses at certain points throughout the movie. And I think that did change a little bit. I'm just trying to find what it was, because I remember watching that a lot when I was a kid, that movie, because obviously you get multiple different versions of it.
Yeah. Good old choose your own adventure movies.
Yeah, I can't. It's not showing up when I type in Ben 10 interactive film.
Huh. Maybe you just imagined it.
No, I do. I definitely remember it being a thing. But yeah, that was maybe this is a Mandela effect. Maybe I haven't seen it, but I do very much remember that. But yeah, interactive movies.
I mean,
also pretty cool.
Anyone in the comments?
Yeah.
If you know this movie, please give us a title, or tell Dan that he's delusional and it was a fever dream and it never happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way. Well, I think that's kind of a fun little segue here into our objectively bad segment. Which is just objectively bad movies.
Yeah, you know what's also a good segue into?
What's a good segue?
Me going to the bathroom. See you guys in a bit.
Hell yeah.
Okay, you slimy sausages, we are back. Sorry for that.
God damn it.
Don't like that.
You do whatever you choose to say.
Yeah. Yeah, well, slimy sausages is what I want to say. So
that's what we want.
We're back. Thank you for allowing me the piss, Chad. Appreciate it.
Please say piss break. When you say allowing me the piss, I don't know what it infers.
It infers whatever you want it to infer.
I don't want it to infer anything.
Well, that's not your decision to make.
I want to move on. God damn it.
You better just keep making this podcast more and more awkward every episode.
It's just Dan just verbally abusing me. Not even abusing me, but just making me feel just a little weirder every day.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that and not sexually harassing or something. I don't want to catch a case.
Nah. I don't think you've done that yet. We'll see.
Yes.
See how long it takes. We'll see how long it takes.
Okay, moving on.
Welcome back to the objectively bad segment of this podcast. Today we're talking about objectively bad movies.
Once again, I don't have anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm busy with working on a video, but I'm procrastinating on that video by making another video.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, Dan, you got anything? And then I was like, You don't have anything.
I could come up with something off the top of my head. Let me give a.
I mean, I do have things written down.
No, let me cook, Chief.
Okay, you get like 5 seconds.
Something off the top of my head in 5 seconds. I think a movie where
good start.
The main what?
Good start.
A movie, good start.
Yeah.
A movie where the main character is a man.
Horrible start.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And this man is old, white, American,
I don't
somewhat
know
racist.
I don't know where you're. Passion of the Christ.
I think the main character of this film should be Chevy Chase in his current form, which is the worst version of Chevy Chase.
Okay.
And in this movie, he is a primary school teacher. For disabled kids.
Oh gosh.
It's getting bad, isn't it?
It's getting bad.
And this movie is a story about him finding love.
What?
Not with the kids.
Backtrack. Okay,
not with the kids, I promise.
Okay.
It's a movie about him finding love.
With kids.
No, that's what you said, not me. With one of the kids' parents.
Oh, okay. So a thing teachers shouldn't do.
Exactly.
Usually.
And
good start.
So in this movie, I have no idea what the fuck I'm going with.
No, keep going. No. You said you wanted me to let you cook.
In this movie, he starts off. Well, I think I should probably mention that the woman he falls in love with is of African origin, hence the racism being a barrier between them.
Oh, okay. Immediately, he's just horribly racist. By the end of the movie, he looks into the camera and he goes, "You know what? Your kind is not so bad." It's just like awful.
Yeah. No, that's what happened. That's like that's the ending of the movie. He goes like, "You know what? Black is back," and then it just like cuts.
It cuts into like a really good like ending soundtrack.
I'm crying.
It cuts into so Michael Jackson's Black or White.
Oh my god. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. But it's Chevy Chase doing a cover of it.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a bad movie.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
That's a bad one. Do you want me to go through my list of ideas that I've already made up here? Yeah, you should. You're probably best if you do that, to be honest. Yeah. No, or I can just keep letting you waffle for a really long time. I probably end up saying something really bad at some point, so you start. Yeah. You almost sound scared. You sound mildly scared. I'm scared of myself, to be honest. The crying's helping though, because now my eyes are moisturized and I'm not. Oh, there you go. Pain. Oh, God. There you go. All right. So the first one I had was just things that should be multiversal but are not. So right now, big multiverse is a big thing. The Spider-Verse movies help. Great that. Movies, by the way. Fantastic movies. Great movies. Everything Everywhere All at Once also made multiverse very big. I haven't seen it either. I really need to watch it. Yeah, same. Might be on my list for the holiday season. Could be not that it's obviously a holiday movie. The MCU being multiversal. MCU is now driving the multiversal into the ground and ruining the franchise because of it, and just going a ham on that franchise. Are there any other I guess it's not multiversal, but I guess Disney, all the films interconnected. It's not multiverse, but it's similar. And what do you mean interconnected? Like at the end of Frozen, you can see Rapunzel and Flynn from Tangled in there. That's interconnected. Yeah, they're in the movie at the very when there's the. Oh well, that's like I don't know if I count that as multiversal. You could argue that's not multiversal because that's one universe. Yeah, that's why some say it's not multiversal, but they're interconnected in a way. Like all the Disney films take place in the same reality. Do they? Yeah, they do. I think you're thinking of Pixar with the Pixar theory. No, I mean like Frozen, Tangled, Brave, like all these movies, they're all technically in the same world. Oh, okay. At least I'm pretty sure they're like at least with Tangled and Frozen.
fuck off. At least with those that are in the same world, I'm pretty sure. Is The Little Mermaid Pixar?
It's Disney.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Quote me.
Most of the quote unquote like princess movies are Disney. Brave is like the one that's Pixar.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's at the end of. Well, I know this is I know in Wreck-It Ralph. Is it Wreck-It Ralph I'm thinking of? There's a scene at the end where maybe this
where
is
they're all in there, or it's like a short or something.
Yeah, I think it's a short where like
I think it's a short.
The young girl from Wreck-It Ralph goes in with all the other Disney princesses.
Yeah.
Moving on, multiversal stuff.
What would be bad as a multiverse?
I think you take any like just regular film that isn't really meant to be any like non-superhero
like
film,
a rom-com.
Really. Yeah,
a rom-com and make it multiversal for no reason.
Yeah, I my personal favorite multiverse is it's only 2 movies I think, but it's the Rachel McAdams being in love with time travelers multiverse. There's 2 separate movies that she's in love with time travelers. About Time, which is my favorite film of all time, by the way, and The Time Traveler's Life.
Oh, okay. Are either of those the ones that have Owen Wilson as a time traveler, or is that a completely different movie?
No, that's Midnight in Paris, which is a great.
You are
movie.
right.
That's actually technically, that's another one where her husband's a time traveler. That's 3.
Is that Rachel McAdams too?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there you go. Her and her time travel.
Yeah, they end up not having a great. She's actually kind of awful in that movie. She's like really like mean. But technically, he travels back in time in Paris. I think Midnight in Paris gave me a I think I watched it before I went to Paris for the first time. It gave me a let's say a rose-tinted glasses view of the Parisian city. Because Paris, if you've been there, you know it's not terrible, but it's not what it's made up to be. It's not like this beautiful romantic city.
It's busy. Everyone's there. It's tourists. It's, you know.
The one part about Paris that I do think is genuinely beautiful is when you're out at night, all the little side streets that are like dimly lit, while they're probably dangerous and you probably shouldn't go there, they are beautiful. Yeah. And Midnight in Paris explores that so well. It's like all these beautiful side streets with like dimly lit lamps. He ends up traveling back in time. He meets famous poets and authors. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. And Owen Wilson plays it really well. So yeah, that's the trio of Rachel McAdams with time traveler movies multiverse. So rom-coms would be a terrible one because like
it would just be way too complicated for no reason. Hallmark movies that are multiversal.
All the different Christmas Hallmark movies just be multiversal for no reason.
Yeah.
Like all the ones where it's like a big city businesswoman goes back to her hometown. It's all the same hometown. So like it's just like 20 different couples just having the same movie.
They're all at the same time.
Yeah.
And they intersperse too, because you know they have to like big businesses, big trees is taking down my little tree farm. But it's also like one rom-com is like they just like intersect in a way that doesn't
everything's. Or like one of them is like, oh, I want to take this promotion because it will enhance my career, but there's this guy I really love, and like she's fighting with a promotion against another rom-com couple, and it gets like really intense.
Yeah, and you're sitting here and you're like, they're making it out like everyone is a good guy, but at the same time, it's like there's definitely someone that wins and definitely someone that loses, and they just kind of don't really talk about it. They're like, yeah,
they can have like. Or you could have a movie where like the main characters are cheating on each other with characters from another main movie. Like, why don't we make? We have friends with benefits. We have no strings attached. Why don't we make a remake of both of them where it's both movies connected and they cheat on each other with the opposing couple?
And and they just put Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis back together.
Exactly. It's perfect.
Yeah,
that makes so much sense. I think another one that like genuinely. I don't know if this would be bad, but like it'd be really interesting to see like a Fast and Furious movie franchise crossover with like a Die Hard or like another really cool action film. Just see those put together. Like
Mad Max.
Mad Max and Fast and Furious would go hard as shit. Dominic Toretto on the
Dom
dunes.
Toretto just tearing it up on the Australian dunes. On them sands. And right when he's about to be killed, the like knife is right here. He's holding it. He just goes, "You know what you forgot about how mad your Max is? Family." And he just hits you with that family. And then the Corona sponsorship.
Yeah, I love how in the 2 official episodes of this podcast we've mentioned Dominic Toretto and family twice.
Did we do that last time?
I did. Yeah. It was a bad GTA game. GTA, but your family. Man.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We just keep bringing up the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. I think another type of multiverse. We'll move on from this specific topic in a bit. But another type of multiverse is where you take two big movie franchises that already exist that have no relation to each other, but you have to somehow mix them in like a way that doesn't make any sense. So you like get like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars.
Oh yeah, and it just
like the people
work.
from Star Wars just like visit Middle Earth. I also haven't watched any of the Lord of the Rings films, and I've seen the second Hobbit and not the others.
Oh God. I mean, at least it's not the worst Hobbit movie.
Yeah, I started watching the first Lord of the Rings on the flight home from Germany, but it's a very long movie, and I got very.
It's so good though. I know. So good.
But the thing is, I didn't want to watch it. That's the other. That is also the justification as to why I didn't watch The Dark Knight on the plane. I didn't want to watch it on a shitty movie screen. I wanted like a good experience.
But you watched two other good movies on the plane.
Actually, Bullet Train was kind of shit because half my headphone wasn't working, so I could barely hear it.
That kind of sucks.
But yeah, no, I do want to watch Lord of the Rings, but I want to like binge it in like a day or something. I want to get I want to have like a comfy day. I'll take a day off from everything. Just close the blinds, just watch it and have a good time.
Watch all 12 hours.
God, I don't know when that would be.
The last time I did it, I got sick and there was nothing I could do, so I just sat at home and binge watched.
That's fair.
The entire trilogy, extended edition.
Would you recommend the extended edition for a first time watcher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, if you don't have it, it's like it just adds some like scenes. I think there's a couple scenes that like make a difference.
Okay.
You're already in it for like 3 hours anyways.
Fair
so
enough.
What's another 30 minutes?
I know I'll love it because fantasy is my favorite.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, I love to me, fantasy is so much better than sci-fi, in my opinion. I love it so much more. It's the reason why like I love a game like Skyrim over something like Starfield. I think fantasy is a much more interesting thing because it's further like away from reality, in my opinion. Sci-fi is something that I feel like humanity could get to in a few hundred, a few thousand years. Fantasy is impossible. Magic's never going to be a real thing. So the concept of that being in a movie or game is just so much more interesting to me. So I know I'll like Lord of the Rings. I enjoyed the second Hobbit when I watched it. I just haven't seen anything else, and I should.
God damn it. Moving on. We've talked about Zack Snyder earlier. Zack Snyder rom-com. So Zack Snyder has a very particular directorial style where it's gritty, it's dark. It is. But there's a lot of slow-mo. I think someone totaled up 30 minutes out of the like 3 or 4 hour runtime. I think 4 hour runtime of the Snyder cut is slow-mo. It's crazy. Insane. It is insane.
I just searched up just Zack Snyder movie because I didn't know what else he directed. He directed Legend of the Guardians, the album.
Yeah, I looked it up too earlier. That was like I knew all the rest of the ones he did. Yeah. I didn't know he did that. I heard those.
Great movie. You haven't seen it?
I've not seen it. Or if I have, I don't remember it.
I'd recommend it. It's a very wholesome movie. I've seen it twice, like back when it came out. I really enjoyed it. Good movie.
Gotcha.
We need one movie with owls.
I mean, he did 300. He did Watchmen, which I enjoyed. Did a bunch of DC movies. Yeah, we make him do a rom-com.
That'd be fun.
But we say like, hey, you can keep your directorial style. Like we actually would prefer if you do that.
Yeah.
But it's gotta be a rom-com.
Because he could probably make like a good like romance drama, but a rom-com specifically. Like, he has to include humor.
Yeah,
like
and slow-mo.
Chad, we're missing the best opportunity here. But he doesn't need to make a rom-com. He just needs to do the Schneider cut of already existing rom-coms.
Oh God, he makes them like way longer.
Yeah, and adds like unnecessary, like really serious and intense scenes with no added value, with a lot of slow-mo and black and white. So I want to see the Schneider cut of what's the fuck?
Love Actually.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's the movie.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I was just taking a stab.
That's what I was going to say.
Of When Harry Met Sally.
What's the one with Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling? Crazy
Stupid Love. Yeah.
I want to see the Zack Schneider. I can't say his name correctly. Zack Schneider cut of Crazy Stupid Love. I think that would be fucking hilarious. Because in Crazy Stupid Love, there are some scenes that are like quite serious. Like the man's going through a divorce with his wife. It's quite, there's like this whole drama. I won't spoil the movie, but you know what I'm talking about, the big drama.
No, I haven't seen this movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it? You need to watch it. It's so good. So I spoiled it for myself because I was watching it on TikTok. I spoiled the major spoiler in the movie before I saw it. It's really good. You can probably predict it if you're kind of thinking about it a lot, but really good movie. I'd highly recommend. Zack Snyder cut of that would be fucking great.
Just fire.
Yeah. Speaking of other directors, we were talking about Michael Bay earlier as well.
But we're talking about Michael Bay.
A Michael Bay rom-com with explosions for no reason would be pretty. Yes. Has he done a rom-com? I'm looking at his discography. That's not the right word.
Discography. No. Yeah, we'll go with discography.
What is the word for that for directors?
Films.
Filmless. Sure. I'm looking at his discography right now.
Yeah.
I don't see any. Wait, hold up. I typed up Michael Bay movie. Has he made this many movies? Holy fuck. What?
It's also Google's always weird because it's like
he made The Quiet Place Part 2.
He's probably just involved. I don't think he made The Quiet Place because that was.
Well, yeah, because I know John Krasinski. Oh my god, he did I Am Number 4. What a movie. I Am Number 4 is a banger film if you guys haven't seen it.
I don't know if I've seen it. Did he do The Rock?
Like The Human? Did he make him? I don't think so.
No, the movie The Rock.
I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
Oh, it's about people trying to escape Alcatraz. I gotta not say Azkaban. Because that is
it's a different
Harry
thing.
Potter.
Yeah, he did do The Rock. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I Am Number 4, great film. Has two of my celebrity crushes from back in the day. Diana Agron, also from Glee. And Teresa Palmer, also in Lights Out, which is another terrifying horror movie that gave me nightmares for weeks. Teresa Palmer, Aussie girl. Great. She's in so many horror movies as well. She's in Warm Bodies. That's a really good rom-com movie.
Oh,
where her partner is a zombie, but it's really good.
Oh yeah.
She's in so Lights Out, terrifying horror film, especially when you're younger. I think if I watch it now, it wouldn't scare me that much, but when you're younger, terrifying film. She's in Bedtime Stories. That's funny.
But yeah, so Michael Bay rom-com. It's got so let's see, what are from our own memory, what is the stylistic choices of Michael Bay?
A lot of unnecessary explosions and slow-mo as well.
Over the top action slow-mos. They got the like camera pan where it spins around like a person.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
I think we need a Linkin Park ending song as well.
And a Linkin Park ending song.
I reckon Numb is probably the good choice for a rom-com.
Yeah.
Just at the end when everyone's like all happy, I've become so numb just starts going hard. It doesn't fit in really.
No, it wouldn't make sense at all. Like it's a really happy ending.
Just no. Well, like you could even do like one of the more recent Linkin Park songs from the album One More Light. If you guys haven't listened to One More Light, we back in 2018 when this came out, me and you had like a long 3-week period where we were like, how did they not know? Because if you go through the track list for One More Light, the song titles are so depressing and like obvious he was going to kill himself and just no realize.
I mean, you can look at a lot of his music.
Yeah,
but it's also emo music. So I mean, like,
One More
it's
Light's
not that
really
they didn't know.
One More Light is
like real sad.
Like I'm gonna read out the song. So if you guys aren't aware, One More Light by Linkin Park, lead singer Chester Bennington.
Chester Bennington, that's the one.
Bennington.
Yes, sir.
He sadly took his own life back in 2018 or 2017, and the last album that Linkin Park released before he died was One More Light. It's a very different album from the band, but an album that I really did appreciate and really like. And for some reason, it's not showing me songs. Okay, there we go. And the song titles and lyrics are just like so. When you look back on it after he took his own life, it's like so bad. So we have Nobody Can Save Me as the opening track, which is already off to a bad start. Second track, Goodbye. Not getting any better.
Yeah.
Then we have Talking to Myself, Battle Symphony, Invisible, Heavy, Sorry for Now, Halfway Right, One More Light, and Sharp Edges. The first two really are the worst. Nobody Can Save Me and Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, oh boy, how did no one notice?
Yeah.
So sad.
But we so we end this Michael Bay rom-com with Numb. I think that's good.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think unnecessary action sequences when it's not really an action-based movie Like maybe the main couple are having like a coffee date, and for some reason the store
there's
just
just
robbed.
Explosions, or there's just explosions in the background.
Yeah,
like they're unexplained.
Like it's during like the Boston bombing or something.
Or maybe, oh god, or maybe it's, I was gonna go in a different direction a little because it's a rom-com. It's gonna be a little cheerier. It's the main character is like a demolitionist. So there's just a lot of explosions, but they really ham up the explosions every time.
Yeah.
And there's like way too many. Like it's like, yeah, it's his job, but it's like way too many demolitions, and they're like over the top explosions. Yeah.
So yeah, in anime, there's a very common trope where characters will like get together or express their love for the first time. There'll always be fireworks in the background. Very common thing. In this movie, they kiss at the end, and there's just a giant explosion in the background.
There's just a building at the background.
It's like imagery. It's like a metaphor for their love. I explode for you. Not in that way. That sounds different. Or maybe he does explode for her in that way. The final shot of the movie is just a giant cum shot.
Oh god. They had to get an R rating just for the end of the movie, and they're all like, Michael, we don't need to do this. It's really stupid. Why the fuck are we including this? And he's like, I got one trump card on this movie, and god damn it, we're doing this.
The whole movie up to that point, it's like really PG-13 at the end. Just a cum shot slow.
Just like a really great
numb shots.
It's just slow-mo, and it's just fucking everywhere. Just
this is so fucking stupid. I'm crying again, Chad. Not twice a month.
Good. I have a note here that just says Greta Gerwig and Michael Bay are forced to make a movie together. If Greta Gerwig doesn't ring a bell here,
Barbie, right?
It's Barbie. Little Women.
Honestly, Barbie should have had more explosions.
I think they could have gotten away with more.
Just a quick little detour from the objectively bad section. You've seen Barbie, right?
Yeah, I've seen Barbie. Yeah, sure.
What'd you think of it?
It's a good movie.
I thought it was a great movie.
Cool. Back to the session. Or are we?
Did you do the Barbie Oppenheimer double feature?
No, I didn't have the right time for it. I did watch them I think one on a Monday, one on a Wednesday.
Right. I still haven't seen Oppenheimer.
It's good. It's very long.
I do need to watch it. I know. I do need. I think I was gonna go watch it, but I don't know. I can't remember why at the time I didn't. I should have done it.
It's a movie about a lot of people talking.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have a funny little story. So
okay,
I went on a date about a month ago.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was talking to her about movies, and I mentioned Oppenheimer. I don't remember why it came up in conversation.
Sure.
But she went to see Oppenheimer. She didn't know who Oppenheimer was.
Okay.
Which is a bit concerning, but she didn't know who Oppenheimer was.
Well, no, but then you learn who he is.
So
that's the movie.
So I haven't seen the movie, but according to what she said to me, the whole movie, she was really confused about what the hell was going on. She was like, why are we just following this guy and his wife? She didn't understand who Oppenheimer was, what Oppenheimer did. She didn't know he made the bomb. She didn't know anything about it. And then at the very end of the movie, she was like, oh, it's about the bomb. It's like, what the fuck? What do you mean?
I feel like, okay, so I've seen the movie. I don't think it's that convoluted if you don't know who it is.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, how the fuck do you go into the movie about the man who created the atomic bomb? All the material about all the marketing material around the movie. There's the whole thing about Barbie and Oppenheimer being the duality of cinema and shit.
Mm-hmm.
How are you confused? I was just like, what's going on?
That's great.
It's really funny, but
just absolutely doesn't know what's going on.
No, so dumb.
Nice. I got one last one here, and then we'll wrap things up. Right. Movies on vinyl.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you just listen to it, but it's not that you just listen to it. It's you get 3 different vinyls. Because a vinyl really only plays for on one side 20-30 minutes, which means the whole thing maybe plays about an hour. So if it's a 3-hour long movie, you need 3 separate ones, and you gotta flip them. So you have pauses in between, and also you're just listening to it.
Great. This feels like the opposite of our lip only podcast.
It is.
Video
it's the
only
antithesis
podcast.
the video only podcast.
So it's an audio only movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be best if it's like a really long. If it's like an action movie with there's really long fight scenes. So there's like 20 minutes in the movie where it's just like random explosions and gunshots, but you can't see anything. That'd be great.
There's just a scene where it's just like silent and they're like staring at each other or something like that, but all you just hear is like a little bit of static from the record player.
Yeah. Or it's a like a Charlie Chaplin film. No talking.
So it's just, well, what's funny is then that just turns itself into a record because it's just old timey music.
Yep. But you don't know it's a movie.
That's just that just brings us full circle. That's just a record at that point. Because then it's just the soundtrack of a movie.
Yeah, even though it is
also the audio to the movie because it's a silent movie.
Now, what I think would be a funny idea is you have the vinyl of a movie. But then with the vinyl, when you buy it, you're also given like a book with like screenshots of the movie. So the way you watch the movie is you flip a book while listening to the audio record. So you have every single frame of a movie. It's like a giant book with like 100,000 different images. You have to like quickly flip through it to keep up with speed.
Oh God.
Just the worst way to watch. Because
just a massive book. It's like thick.
Well, it's like, imagine like it being like a proper flip book. You know how like you can like draw the flip book, and if you like go through it, it like kind of animates it. You do that, but you have to physically do it. So like if you mess up somehow, you have to like get back to the page you're on. Like, oh shit, I don't know what page I was on.
God,
that'd be a terrible thing to do. It'd be
awful.
Fun, be funny, but it'd be not great at all. It wouldn't be a good viewing experience.
No.
You know what isn't? You know what else isn't a great viewing experience, Chad?
What?
Our podcast.
Hell yeah. Hey, this is a great viewing experience. What are you talking about? It's two guys with mics and they're talking.
Point proven.
Yep.
Well, I think that's about it for today's episode.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The Objectively Bad podcast. I hope you enjoyed. There was a few little interesting bits in there.
God, something had to be funny. We talked for like an hour and a half, right?
I cried twice, so that
cried twice.
Yeah, I do cry very easily when I laugh for some reason. It's always been an issue of mine. It's really
no. I'm just funny.
Well, the first time I made myself laugh.
Shit, I think it was me.
The Chevy Chase one was.
We're not gonna go back to this or like anything. You're not gonna edit this and see.
No, I'm definitely not gonna edit this entire video whatsoever.
No. Well, anyways, thanks for watching and or listening. Probably the second one.
Probably. Yeah. Wait till you need to figure out how to get this on Spotify. Again, we're recording this before they're all uploaded. Still have not yet figured out how to get it on the platforms, but I'm sure I'll figure it out soon.
I'm sure we will eventually.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. Throw a like or subscribe or whatever you can do on whatever podcast you're listening. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye, you sloppy sandwiches.